spiced up to 100 pounds per square inch. We also use bullet hits, which have to be carefully programmed and timed to match the continuity of visual effects and eventually the pattern of the sound effects. And the last, and probably most important effect to be added in scenes such as this one is fire, which needs to be ignited at a precise instant, because it takes a lot of time and work to reset the charges of those explosions. Now, the number one consideration that we have in the timing of all of these events, of course, is the safety of our actors on the set, which leads us to you. Hi, sir. What's your name? Today? Everybody say, how old are they? Alright, but you Ben's cast as the mechanic in our scene today. It's going to take place way down in the engine in this big boat behind you. But lucky for you, Ronald's going to take you to one that's been relocated very nicely convenient. Alright, folks, we're going to be going 2 scenes today, but not in the order that they appear in the script. Most of today's action films are shot out of sequence. And what this means is the actor could be reacting to something that they haven't even seen yet. Now this can be extremely difficult for them, so it's the director's job to help the actor find the motivation for the scene. Alright, but here is your setup. That phone next to you is going to buzz just before 800 gallons of water are released from these 2 tanks, come flying down this chute and slam into you like a freight train. Does that motivate you? Maybe to hang on, probably. Actually, folks, it's about 1,000 gallons of water, but we have found that there's a fine line between motivation and fear. Are you ready, sir? All right, roll the playback, please. All right, Bebe, you just lost your engines and action. Check out that engine for me, and now pick up the phone and call your captain. Something's wrong. Tell him you're taking on a little bit of water, all right? Give a big round of applause, everybody, and introduce the rest of the cast.
Everyone, please give a big round of applause for our Captain Kathy and her brave crew, Rick and Jim. Thank
you very much, Mom. All right, places, everybody. Roll the playback. All right, remember, crew, you're on a surveillance mission, and action. That's it, you hear an enemy plane approaching, Captain. Use those binoculars and find that plane. It's a fighter coming in at 10 o'clock. Alright, you're surprised. You're stunned. Spin that wheel, Captain. Get that PT boat out of there. They're coming back for another run. It's too late, Captain. They just shot at your engine. Use that phone and call your mechanic. Deck crew, I think I see something in the water off of there. Off the starboard. Looks like a submarine. And that's his torpedo. All right, you begin to relax. You think it's all over. But just then, you hear more planes approaching. You look to the sky, point to the sky. Deck crew, it's at 12 o'clock. That's the front of the boat over here. Underneath bombers. All aboard and get to the deck. Survived the aerial attack, but just then you see 2 more torpedoes coming in from the stern. They pass under the boat. Everybody, point to the audience, tell them to look out. And cut. Let's give a big round of applause, everybody.
In front of the shuttle, out in the distance there, you can see our award-winning Airfall Tower. The tower's design is based on that of a water tank that Walt Disney had built at his Burbank Studios in 1939. Except we added the innovation of a huge set of Mickey Mouse ears. It stands about 13 stories tall. Each of the ears you see up there weigh about 2.5 tons. Now the Disney MGM Studios is much more than just a theme park. We are a high-tech working production center featuring sound stages, outdoor sets, state-of-the-art editing facilities, recording studios, really just about anything you need to make a movie or a television show. Coming up over here on our right-hand side, we have an elephant and a cage. These are a couple of props of the film George in the Jungle, starring Brendan Fraser. Yeah, we've had a lot of productions on the back lawn over the years, and on the sound stages as well. Some of the films that we have filmed here include Instinct with Anthony Hopkins, Cuba Gooding Jr., Faster 57 with Wesley Snipes, Quick Change with Bill Murray, and the first rolling feature shot on our back lot was that blockbuster hit, Ernest Saves Christmas. Our TV credits include episodes of ER, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and The Wheel of Fortune. And of course, for 5 seasons, Sound Stages 2 and 3, they were home to the Mickey Mouse Club. Well, coming up on our right-hand side, we have a couple more movie props. These are from the film Pearl Harbor, starring Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett. Taken from the mold of a real P-40 Warhawk, these full-scale replicas, they were produced in fiberglass over a steel frame. The production crew, they built a total of 16 of these models for the film. But most of the aircraft that you saw on the runways out in front of the hangars are actually CGI, computer-generated imagery. And for those of you on the right-hand side that might not have gotten a good view of the Eiffel Tower, once you get to where I'm at up here, look over to the right and get one last eyeful of it. Probably the best view of it here in the park. But take a quick look, because we're going to duck inside now and go into one of the more glamorous departments here at the studios, creative costuming. Now, the whole process of costuming, it begins with a designer sketch, and you can see some of these sketches on the walls around us. There are a team of tailors and seamstresses. They take that artwork and turn it into the finished garments worn by our performers. We have some of their works on display in these cases to the left. The first case has a costume from The Princess Diaries 2 worn by Anne Hathaway. Next to the costume from Ice Princess, which is currently out in theaters. Next we have a costume from Life of Corners worn by Bill Murray. And the next few cases have costumes from The Village, Ladder 49, and National Treasure with Nicolas Cage. About 250 skilled professionals work in the wardrobe department. They create over 25,000 costumes a year for our motion picture, television, and live entertainment needs. Makes it the largest working wardrobe in the world. Next up, we're going to go through a series of prop storage areas. This is where we store many of the props and set pieces when they're not being used for productions on our sound stages. And the final room on our left-hand side, the one with all the tools, that's our main scenic shop. That's where carpenters create and maintain the sets that are used on the sound stages, as well as out on location. We also use a scenic shop to build many of the sets and props for our shows and attractions right here at Walt Disney World. We're going to continue now further out onto our back lot and visit an area that's known as the Studio Boneyard. The Boneyard is kind of like an outdoor attic, so we store some of our larger, oversized props. It's a lot easier for us to keep these props out here, come back later and restore them and use in another film rather than having to build them from scratch again. The first props you see over here on our left-hand side, we have a yellow helicopter and a submarine next to it. Those are both from Life Aquatic with Bill Murray. Next we have a yellow steamroller. This is from 1988 film Who Framed Roger Rabbit, starring Christopher Lloyd. The red Cadillac is from the gun embedded in his handbag. The blue Cadillac is from Tin Men with Richard Dreyfuss and Danny DeVito. 1947 Ford police cars from Dick Tracy with Warren Beatty and Madonna. The small green car is from Big Trouble with Ken Allen, Rene Russo. The blue Barracuda is from Gone Fishing with Danny Glover and Joe Pesci. The two white prop planes are both from Disney's The Rocketeer. The helicopter cockpit at this end is from Blue Thunder with Roy Scheider and Daniel Stern. And the final couple of props we have all the way at the front here is a couple of military-style motorcycles from Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade with aerosol weather, crowds, traffic, noise. Sometimes even the weather. So these you prefer to film on a back lot, not like the one that we're passing through here. If you look over to our left-hand side and also on our right-hand side, you'll see that we're surrounded by a few large standing sets. The one on commercials. It's also been featured in a couple of TV shows. Earlier today, we did have a crew out here. They were testing some special effects on this set, so we've actually had a deep tour. Green light out here. The production crew must be on a bit of a lunch break, so we're going to go on inside. Now we will be in the set on a really bumpy bridge, so you might want to grab hold of any loose items you have, such as hats, glasses, purses, cameras. You're definitely going to want to these. The canyon set is modeled after an actual canyon out in Southern California. It took our team of engineers about 6 months to put this together. In addition to the commercials, also been featured. Looks like we're going to stop at in just a moment. You can take some pictures of the game set without us bouncing around so much. I'll tell you a little bit more about it while we're in here. Just to understand you, there is a platform going out there on the film band. You're probably noticing there's a lot of water out on the deck today. Earlier, we were touching the rain effect down here. One of the great things about working on the Panasonic is the control. If there's just something in the control, can you turn that effect on for us? If you're working on a production, you can't afford to wait for it. You need to be able to cue the weather up. The effect that you see here is created by high-powered spout to the top contained and they spray water out that crisscross fashion. It's a more natural look. But it is only moving rain, it only goes down about 20 feet in a second. And that pays off cameras in the 2 dimensions. Or too. That's what I just wanted the weather effect of 16. Well, looks like the air jumping and everything's remaining here. Behind the scenes set, well, here. Now we're behind the scenes look at how this
Can you see that hydraulic rem at the back of the, going in from the lorry into the wall? That helps push the lorry out and then...
I'll take one last look at the game and once we get behind it,
that can't go anywhere.
If there was one word that could be used to describe it, that every structure of that would be the facade. As you see the kids really, there's nothing more than a facade. If you're stuck to cover the line aspect of the color coding, it's been molded in the city. So we have put the felt machine by hydro and shape, which is one of the perfection. Right now, comes from 23 and does give you resetting Oswald's personal plane, used it on his scouting missions over Central Florida when he's looking for a place to put Walt Disney World. He also used the aircraft to shuttle himself and his Imagineers between California and New York during the final planning stages for the 1964 World's Fair. This is all part of a new show that we've developed that's called Lights, Motors, Action. And it's actually based on one of our more popular attractions at our Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris, France. What the show does is it gives you a behind-the-scenes look at how we create vehicle action stunts for the movies using a variety of cars, motorcycles, and jet skis, along with some pyrotechnics. The show is set to premiere this spring. The official opening date will be May 5th of this year. 05, 05, 05, and I think that's why they chose that date. It's all part of our 100 years of celebration, and actually they are currently doing what the experience should be by the time they're ready to officially open it this year. Well, coming up on our left-hand side, another one of our studio boneyards. The first thing you're going to see is a trip. That's from the Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. The Green Acme Waste Ghost Truck is from a live-action version of 101 Dalmatians with Glenn Close. This is the wall that shakes Space Pod that's from Flight of the Navigator. It's one of 3 pods used in that film. The next couple of props from the original Star Wars trilogy. Sanskrit from Return of the Jedi, the Snowspeeder from Empire Strikes Back. The next couple of props are from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We have an orange Pacific electric trolley car and Judge Doom's Toontown Ditmobile. Trolley car is actually a modified city bus. Those are fiberglass plates that cover the radial tires. Well, put your cameras way out when you get them back out. We are approaching our Streets of America set, and rather unique photo opportunity. We do have a couple moments for it. It's a Hollywood production trick. It's called Forced Perspective. Buildings you see at the front of the street are really just painted flat. Large billboards stand about 4 stories tall. On our right-hand side, you'll also see the entrance to the Lights, Motors, Action. The Fast Pass distribution is just located right behind that side. And as you continue around the corner, for those of you on the right, you'll get a better view at our city center. You can see all the buildings are just facades, a lot like the canyon. The steel structures go with plywood, styrofoam, fiberglass, and concrete. There's not a real single brick used in the entire set there. Now our final stop is going to be the American Film Institute Showcase. This is housed in this way villains, movie characters y'all love today. Inside we have costumes, The Wizard of Oz, Aliens, Star Wars, even Pirates of the Caribbean.